I've now defeated the final boss of Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree twice, with two completely different builds and tactics. During my live streams of these fights, I died repeatedly. But you guys know me, when I met with a challenge, I don't give in. I kept jumping back into the fight to learn how to parry, dodge, and counterattack at the right moments. In this video, I'm including both of my victories over Radahn and Shadow of the Erdtree in hopes that it's able to help others defeat him. While these fights aren't perfect, and while this isn't meant to be a guide, it shows that he is defeatable with and without parrying, and with and without bursts of damage from things like bleed and frostbite. For my first playthrough of Shadow of the Erdtree, I decided to kind of go freeform and just respec a bunch of times till I found something that I enjoyed using the most, and so this is what I ended up with. I have the Backhand Blade at plus 25, and I set it to the Blood Affinity. As you can see at the bottom, it says it causes blood loss buildup 114. I'll show you exactly why that is. Take note of the attribute scaling, Strength, Dexterity, and Arcane. The Arcane is actually the key for this. I do have the Buckler here. This is the playthrough in which I decided to try to parry some stuff, including Radahn. I do have the Dragon Communion Seal, and I do have one of the new incantations, but I didn't actually use that at all in this fight, so just ignore that. I do have the Armor of Night set on, just because it looks so damn good. And then we have the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, the Golden Braid, Crimson Seed Talisman +1, and Dragon Crest Shield Talisman +2. I decided to go a more utility and defensive aspect in this fight, because a lot of my damage was actually pretty good without any extra buffs from talismans, just because of specifically the blood loss buildup. You'll see that it adds up for a lot of damage really fast. I do have all of my flasks set to Crimson Tears. I didn't get plus 14 in the base game, so I just have 13 here. And then in my Flask of Wondrous Physic, I have Dex Knot and Strength Knot just for a little bit of extra damage. I wasn't really comfortable using anything else there, so that is just what I have going on. Now for my stats, you can see that I am level 191, but the DLC does give a lot of experience, so you'll probably end up, if you do a full base game playthrough and expansion playthrough, you will likely end up somewhere around this level as well. You can see that I do have 65 Vigor, that's a big one, 29 Endurance, another big one, Strength is 38, Dexterity 65, and Arcane 65. Remember when I said earlier, the Arcane is a big thing there? Even though it's only descaling on the weapon, that's actually the deciding factor on how much blood loss buildup the weapon has. If the weapon scales on Arcane at all, then Arcane is the big factor there. So pay attention to that when you make your own build. And of course, the main physical damage aspect from there is the Dexterity. It does have B scaling, so that's where a lot of the damage comes from otherwise. Another thing to note here is that while I do have Godrick's Great Rune selected, I did not use any rune arcs during any of these fights, just because it would be something I would have to farm so many of them, so I just did not actively use that at all. Damn, that attack is insane. All right, here we go. Where are you coming from? Yeah, running worked. Okay, okay, cool. All right. Hold. 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 Yeah! Yeah! For my second build, you can see that I'm wearing all the Death Knight stuff. I really liked the Death Knights in the expansion, and I do have a Death Knight playthrough of the base game as well. That even though they are themed differently, I decided to transform my original Death Knight character into a DLC Death Knight character, and this is the equipment I went in with. The Death Knight's long-haft axe plus 10. You can see that it's mostly scaling on strength, but it has a little bit of faith and dex in there as well. It does some extra lightning damage. I do have the finger seal, but keep in mind I did not use any incantations during this fight. That was just something that I was trying out, the new Death Knight incantation with all the lightning bolts. And then I have the Death Knight armor set here. Looks great. I really love the aesthetic of this. And then we have the two-headed turtle talisman, Dragon Crest shield talisman plus 2, golden braid, and then the two-handed sword talisman. I decided to go more utility and defensive on this one again, but changing it up a little bit to use the two-handed sword talisman to really help with my damage, considering I wasn't using things like bleed on this run. The two-handed sword talisman gave me that extra oomph behind my hits. You can see I have all 14 flasks set to Crimson Tears. I don't use any Ash of War business here or incantations during this fight either. And then I have the Flask of Wondrous Physics set to the Lightning Shrouding Crack tier and Strength Not Crystal tier, again for more physical and lightning damage while it's active. For my stats here, you can see again Shadow Tree Blessing level 18, just like my first playthrough. My Vigor is 60, that's a big one. Endurance 27, Strength 60, and Faith 60. Those are all the major stats needed here for this. The Faith is less important. That's more for the incantation side of things, but the weapon does scale a little bit on it, so it's a small help there. But the main thing is Vigor, Endurance, and Strength for this build. A side note as well, both Shadow Tree Blessings are 18 for both of these runs, and I believe the max is 20. So this is something that, you know, I could have gone exploring for more to get the last 2 levels, but I didn't really feel that it was important for the fight overall. It's something that you don't have to be perfectly maxed out to actually be capable of completing. But also we found out that Mikola gave us Torrent, so that way we could do certain things, so that way his own ends could be met as well. Such as killing Radahn and Moog. That just kind of shows how manipulative he can be. Even though we gain something big out of it, like Torrent. He didn't do it out of the kindness of his heart. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll and roll. Too damn early again. I hate myself. Fuck. Nice. Not nice. Got in a cheeky jump R2 there. Another cheeky jump R2. That was some excellent trading, chat. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, I failed it miserably. Recovered though, recovered. We're fine. Let's talk my way through this. Excellent roll, excellent news. Always jumping away. So for this, I just fucking run. When he does this, I just run. I don't know how effective this is. We'll see how it goes. Running is good! So it looks like once he jumps in the sky, you just run away. 3, 4, 5. Roll it. I failed it again. Son of a bitch. Heal, heal, heal. We're good. We roll backward. Counter R1. Roll it. R1. Fail. We're recovering. We're recovering. I failed. Shit. Not great. Heal, heal. We're good. Recovered. We're safe. That attack sucks everything. Roll, 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 big roll, 2 R1s. Roll, roll, R1, roll it, gorgeous. Roll, 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 big roll, 2 R1s. Roll it, R1. Panic roll that attack, I guess. Max health, we're almost there. Get right underneath his ass here. We can land a charged R2 with this. Wait for it. Charge R2. Nail it. Roll. Roll. Dead. Let's go! We pick that fight apart piece by piece. The secret to both phase 1 and phase 2, guys, if you're not parrying, never stay in front of him. That's the secret. Never stay in front of him. It's one problem in the first phase. If you stay in front of him, then he pulls off some of his faster attacks, right? But in phase 2, if you stay in front of him, he does all that holy lightning after every single swing. If you stay in front of him, there's a chance you can get hit by it. A lot of his attacks, if you do stay in front of him, will actually still miss the holy lightning, but let's be honest, most people absent-mindedly are going to put a little bit of space from his hitbox, right? A little bit. If you do hug him, you can make it so most of that misses you, but that also puts you in a poor position for counter-attacking. Because just like phase 1, that means that his attacks are going to hit you that much faster. So the secret is, roll to his sides. The only time that you don't roll to his sides are when he does the gravity spin attack and he's coming at you, because you can roll that and then get 2 big R1s in. And when he's going for the grab, don't roll to his sides on that attack. Roll backward, because it puts you in a better position to ground up the next thing. There's enough time after that attack to where you can land an R1 and then reset your mental and get ready for the next combo. I hope that my experience of getting wrecked by Radahn and finally defeating him is able to give you some insight on how you too can defeat him. While this fight is tough, you can overcome it with some patience and willingness to learn. If you'd like to see the full playthroughs of one or both of my builds in Shadow of the Erdtree so far, click on the videos you see on screen now. Until next time, be excellent to each other.